Hello, my name is Tasha, and my video today is, well, for PEPELT, and it is on the book of the month, Grandpa Green. And I will discuss, well, after Sandy looking at picture books as object, I'm looking at it in teacher education, primary teacher education. Now, Grandpa Green is a fascinating book. It's very intricate. It's got some lovely messages in the book, but I find that, or I thought, or I think that it's not an easy book for primary English teachers to look at and to think, what can I do with this in the lesson or with my primary age children in a primary class during an English lesson. So, you know, of course, in primary ed, you can work a little bit with a book and then give them what you would do with it. But it really, teachers need to become autonomous. So I do want them to discover and find out things themselves. So, and this book, I think, is really suitable for that. So what I would do is, I would begin with a cover, like Sandy mentioned. Have a look at it. What could it be about? It's a bit of guessing. And then what I would do is, I would make a slide with the first 2 paragraphs of text and the first page. And I would have that up in the classroom, projected, and I would leave it at that. I would then put the students or my student teachers into pairs and give them a double spread each to work with. So that would mean every pair has got a different double spread from the book. And looking at the number of pages, I should be able to, every pair has got a different double page. What I would then do is I would ask each pair to try and answer 2 questions. So I would leave the text and everything on the double spread. I would ask them, what do you see? And I would ask them, what do you think it symbolizes or what it could symbolize? I'd give them time to discuss, to discover it, and then I'd ask them to mingle a little bit with their double spread, take their paper with them, and exchange ideas with other pairs. And then we'll feed back as a class. I hope this way that they have then discovered all the pages from the book, without even knowing which order they're in, and without reading it in advance as well, and have seen what others have seen in the pictures and have discussed and what they think it could symbolize. Then, once that is done, I would ask all student teachers to stand up and rearrange the classroom. Ideally, I would like to have one big row, a line of tables. And I would then ask them to put all their double spreads in one line and try and order the pages to see if we can together come up with the order of the pages with the sequence that represents the story in the book. Now, once that has been completed and once everybody thinks we have got the right order, we would then look at checking it, comparing it, reading it together. We can all stand around and read together and have a look at the pages and see how it works. I would then ask them 2 more questions, or perhaps 3. And they can discover, they can work together in bigger groups, they can stay in pairs, we can do it as a class. I'm not sure how it would work out. It depends how engaged the student teachers are, and if they just start shouting up the answers, then obviously we'll end up doing it a bit more as a group work. But so my questions would be, who are the people in the pictures? How many generations are represented? And also, what role does the boy take on during this story? Those would be my key questions. Once we have the answers to those, and no doubt if you've read the book you will probably know that the boy takes on a number of different roles. He's the friend, a little bit of the apprentice, and but also the narrator. Then I think really it is time to come to the 2 final questions of this story. And there I think it's really important to take time, to give a little bit of time to the class to digest what they have looked at, leaving the pictures out, leaving the copy of the book out, for them just to have a look and to think about it again. Now for me, my 2 final key questions would be, how are the elderly represented in this story? and what does this book celebrate? Now, I hope that as a class, we can find the answers to these two questions. And once we have the answers to those questions, I do hope, especially with the last one, what does this book celebrate? As in, it celebrates, memories, shared experiences, perhaps guidance that you have received from an elderly person in your life, friendship, trust, that student teachers will come up with activities that link to that and possible discussion questions which they could ask their children in their class. So things about, perhaps, how do you remember? How do you keep a journal? Make a little, teachers might say, oh, I'd like them to do a little collage. Every day they cut out a picture and they stick it in a book, and at the end of the week we look at it and we compare it. So just some creative ideas of how they could look at memories, things that influence them, but also grandparents, the elder, doesn't have to be grandparents, any elderly friend, different generations, how they live together. So that is what I hope to achieve at the end of this lesson with student teachers. I think it's really important for this book that teachers are guided towards them finding the answers of what they want to achieve with this lesson. And I hope that at the end they have got ideas and can work with the book and have discovered enough from the visual side what it could represent, and have shared ideas to really make them feel very confident. And from then on also move on, perhaps from a language point of view, what they would like to focus on during this lesson. I hope you've enjoyed this video. This video was indeed very short, probably one of my shortest ones. Any comments, do let me know, and I will be back with you in the new year, and have a lovely December. Speak to you soon. Bye.